here is not banned. And then also, to your point, we've seen Faker play both different styles. Is he going to go for something like an assassin or more of a facilitator?
Well, Fnatic looking to rebound. For the side of T1, they win here. They guarantee themselves at least a tiebreaker for second place, so they can get a lot done here in just their first game of the day. We're back over to Captain Flowers and Keiju, though, as the teams are readied up to dive into the action.
Thank you so much, Dash. I'm still Captain Flowers. That's still Cadril. And we have access to the lobby chat that most of y'all don't get to see before these get fired up. And there's some.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Esports Central. I am your host, Jamal Bell, and I'm joined with a co-host today. His name is Sam. And tonight, we're going to be watching Worlds 2022 T1 versus Fnatic, the biggest rivalry in Worlds. T1 having a 2-1 in group stage and Fnatic having a 2-2 in groups. And the first ban is going to be an Azir for Humanoid.
I've got my eyes on.
Next ban is going to be a Caitlyn for Fnatic.
Something Fnatic can play, and T1 on the blue side here. Wow, they're really.
Seems like the bans on T1 side are really picking out at Humanoid here. They're just and Fnatic is just generally going for bans in possibly every lane.
Like, all right, what's next? Cross that one off.
And there goes the Renata as well, which is I think one of the I think it is the most played for Hilly so far in this group stage. So Maokai is up. Yumi.
It's very interesting to see that Maokai is up for play here, considering he's been used mostly at Worlds.
Silas as the mid laner is a little bit skirmish heavy. Fiora banned. Yumi's available.
Aphelios as well.
And
here's the first pick for T1 is going to be a
Have a good
Yumi.
answer to this. You don't just give Yumi over on red side. They must have an answer. We'll see what it is and whether it is good enough.
It appears that Kerio is going to be relying on that Yumi this game, and it appears they're going to be building towards having a Yumi, providing that bonus AD for whatever AD carry might be on at the time, or possibly even another laner.
Zeus' Fiora now off the board. Wonder's taunting
I
Zeus
wonder
here
if
with the Jackson.
Fnatic side is going to pick Lucian for the bot lane.
Okay. This one's one of those aggressive answers into something like a Yumi. You're saying you can't give it away for free. You got to have a plan. You got to be ready. They're saying, all right, we're just going to push bottom.
And they let the Maokai be open, and Razork is going to take that
so they will pick the Nami up on 3. They know T1
and
can't
use it
take away
against
the Nami,
T1
so pick up the Maokai
during
to
this
deny
fight.
May as well. Makes a lot of sense. So what does T1 pick here with the Yumi? Will we see Sivir Yumi? I think that's the most common real pairing. And then what could they pick jungle? I think Trundle is another one of them, considering into Maokai. We saw that last game from C9, but Sejuani, very high prior with this tournament as well in terms of pick ban.
Looks like owners going to be picking Sejuani for the picks off the PR and being immune to slows by Maokai. And Faker's going to pick Sivir for Ignite and Yusumi.
She has that wave clear, and then that Yumi just being able to attach for even more move speed.
And Fnatic is going for the Wombo combo Nami Lucian.
Everyone hates that cat.
Hates that
Shout out to Medic for providing
considering that Lucian and Nami are unstoppable in the bot lane.
Bad to play against, not bad as a champion.
Now we just need to find a bug
The
for
second
her as well,
ban
and then we're all happy.
the second ban phase is coming out, and they're banning Jax for Fnatic. So
here in the second half of the draft, it will be the
T1 is
Jax
going to
banned
pick.
by Fnatic. They want to keep that one away from Zeus. Do you think it's going to be just pure top lane focus, or switched up a little bit from that?
So a couple options here. The Maokai's a flex. They could pick Ornn here, Fnatic as well, and just play the Maokai Ornn run back. But with the bans on mid lane so far of mages,
Baron de LeBlanc.
Down, and if things like Orianna are
And
down
it looks
as
like
well,
they're just basically banning Humanoid at this point.
Sylas Akali,
You know, stop him from being the carry, because all eyes are on him for Fnatic.
As well, but with Jax Camille bans,
He's been performing really well in the last game after, you know, losing to C9 and, you know, NA's only hope. And, you know, C9 still holding on, grabbing a single win out of the game, and Fnatic absolutely getting railroaded by them. The last ban for Fnatic is going to be a Camille.
That's why it's a bit easier to put it top, but the
Last ban for
Renekton
T1 is going to be a Renekton.
All right, so 3 top
It
laners
appears
banned
Upset's
away
going to be
in the
picking
second
the
half of the
Akali
draft.
for
And there it is, you're talking
Humanoid.
Sylas Akali. Fnatic are immediately ready to go, locking that one in, and it also leaves the Maokai still available as a flex.
I think Galio or Sylas here could work quite well for T1, unless they want to pivot to a Lissandra. But the reason I don't like Lissandra is because you're playing with a Sejuani.
You know, considering the stats
Sejuani
of
is so
both these teams,
one-dimensional in
Fnatic
being able to
always
counter
relevantly
play.
having new champions. You know, the longest,
Could be Zeus.
the
Yone.
oldest Fnatic player
Or it
on
could
Team
be
Fnatic
Faker
now
Yone.
is Hylissang.
Either way,
He's been on the team for 4 years, but each time, all the other laners have been there less than a year. You know, the closest thing to Fnatic's side is Upset. He's been on the team for an entire year. The rest are like about 10 months into the team.
Now it's on Fnatic. Where's this Maokai going? Is it going top into the Yone? Do you have a counter pick into the Yone here, Wunder? Or is it just going to be the Maokai top and pick something like a Jarvan 4? Could also be a Kali top, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be,
won't.
It won't be. Yeah, it'll be the Poppy jungle, and it'll be the Maokai top here. So Wunder running back the same champ, and the Poppy makes sense into the dashes from champions like
switching their champions. Faker's
Sejuani
gonna be playing
well.
Yone this time.
It always feels so good playing that Poppy to be up against something
And
that
it
you
appears it's
can
gonna be a
really
Maokai
shut
top
them
instead
down
of
with
a
a
Maokai
steadfast
jungle.
presence. Interrupt those dashes there a little bit. Both sides having a giant meatball on the front line there as well to
And the
tank
Poppy
up,
pick is
play
really
front
interesting
back
here,
if they need
considering
to.
that
I just love the
only
fact that we're getting to see
Silas
what
and
you
Yone have
described
really a
as
dash to be able to
a
stop
very
in,
skill matchup,
and
but
Sejuani
it
if you
looks
really
like we
want
might
to
just
count
have
it.
Silas in top side and Yone
You know,
versus
popping the
Akali
W would be able
in.
to
now.
CC them
Okay.
enough,
Little bit there.
be able to
I didn't want to fully
basically stun lock them and keep them in place for the rest of Fnatic to pick them off.
Faker and Humanoid. This is banger guaranteed, my friend.
Oh, it is indeed. And let's not forget when T1 first debuted on the world stage here this year against EDG, they were playing Fiora Sylas with the Yuumi. Now they've got Yone Sylas with Yuumi, and they
The game is
steamrolled
going to
EDG
get started
with a similar
soon
kind
enough.
of composition.
T1
Now,
versus
question whether
Fnatic,
they can pull it off
oldest
against Fnatic, who have
rivalry
tools to fight back with the
known
Akali and the Poppy, and a little bit
esports
of
legends.
teamfight coming from the Maokai. I think it's on Fnatic to just make sure
You know,
mid is the most important role and covering
reading
top side.
Faker's
I think
stats,
in the isolation,
yeah, his
Lucian
contract
Nami,
hasn't been
they will be able
renewed
to get the push,
past
just
this
how
year,
much
so this
can they
might
leverage
be
on this top side of the map.
his
The
final
biggest thing I'm
worlds,
looking
and
at for
maybe he could be
Fnatic,
looking
I
out
think in
to
their previous game,
end the
Razork
T1
was just
versus
so easily
Fnatic
read by
rivalry once and
Blabber.
for all.
Everywhere he was going, Blabber was ready to go.
Yep.
I want to see him be able to find more angles,
And retiring
find more
happily,
ganks
knowing that
without
T1
being
is
countered as
ultimately
much
superior
like
to
they were in the
Fnatic.
previous match.
Oh, it's gonna be exciting. Fnatic lost to C9, of course. They beat T1 the last time they played up against each other, and it was Razork on the Poppy, Upset Hilly on the Lucian Nami, so they've got a similar foundation to their initial draft. But that's a Yuumi, and that's carry as Yuumi, with a lot of melee champs on the top side for T1. Komiushi very comfortable on the Sivir, will just play to scale. Will we see any early game shenanigans is a question. Fnatic could look for some kind of late invade. You know, Sejuani quite weak on the
Faker and
level 1
Kyria
Yuumi.
just hopping onto
Similarly,
each other,
despite
just
the
tagging
combat
along
summoners,
all
but
together.
with the 5 points on both sides, I don't think there'll be any early game level 1 invades.
It appears that
Yep,
Kyria
5
looks
point
like he's
spread,
not going to be able
line of
to be in
scrimmage,
the bot
just
lane
gonna
for
make
most of
sure
his game. Instead, be
nobody's
wandering
trying
around
to do anything too sneaky
as
here
a floating
early on.
magical cat on a
See
book.
junglers both hovering around
Hopefully
that
providing
top side of the
enough
map
of a
means I'm
bonus to be able
expecting a red
to
start for
snag
both
off
them,
any
or red
laners
start,
or
blue start,
any
excuse
junglers
me,
that might be
and then working
trying
from
to
top to bottom. I'm excited
invade
to
or
see
attack.
how active these guys get in the early
And now
game.
both
You were
wards
talking
are
about
going
focus around the
in
mid
top
lane.
river
The thing is about this skill
bush.
matchup, it's a double melee skill matchup. There's a lot of opportunities for a properly timed gank to really swing some things.
Definitely.
And Kyria and Yuumi are
Both
going
sides
to
top
be,
side, gonna pass
or
towards
you
the bot, as you
might-
highlighted. Early wards on the exact same bush on
you
the
see.
pixel from the side of Fnatic and T1, but that ward on the Raptors entrance will spot
gonna be
out
sticking together.
where
And
Razork is starting.
Owner is getting
Could
a
go
leash
Raptors
in the
right into
top
bot side
lane.
here, but it's also very common
But
to
it
just
looks
go
like
Raptors
that
mid, clear to bot,
Fnatic
leave right fast up.
Razork
We'll see what he
is
does. Phase rush for the top
is
jungle
starting
of Fnatic, and
Raptors instead
a
of
bit of a hard time against it. Hang on a second, Ignite dropped onto
instead of Red
Upset.
Buff.
They're
It's
just
very interesting,
immediately
considering
going
no
in
leash needs to be
at level
required for it.
1 against this Lucian Nami.
It appears Ignite's
With
gonna
the
come
two
down
combat summoner spells and how weak
from the
champions are at
Nami.
level 1, they're saying, okay, you've got an aggressive duo, but we got a chance to just jump on you here early.
Yeah,
And Kyria is just being
trying to
aggressive on
contest the
Yuumi
push here.
because
There's a
knowing that
couple
they
more
can
minions
hop
there
back to
for
the ADC at
Fnatic,
any
and they have
time.
got the sustain on both sides with these enchanters. Melee
Now
matchup
T1
mid means a lot of
Faker's
contest,
just
and
taking it
we expect
in
there to
mid
be
lane,
action
you know,
top
being
side,
pushed
but
off
looks
of
like
CS
that'll be
and
an
being
isolation for
nearly
now
a
until
bunch of
couple more levels
EXP
come through for the Yone. Level
behind
6.
Humanoid.
There's a lot of kill pressure on this top side for either side, and Humanoid really aggressive onto Faker right now, who will pop the potion.
Zeus in the
T1 actually
top
get
lane is
bot
just
push
running
in
down
isolation. I
Wonder,
think they
being able to provide
forced it
bonus
out
damage with the
Ignite,
E.
playing aggressively, stepping up. Faker.
Ooh. They're always willing to trade. I love
Faker and
it.
Humanoid
I
are just
love this.
going back and
That's kinda
forth.
how this matchup works in a sense. Contested
mid
creeps
lane.
also always
The
becomes
owner
hard.
is looking for a
Humanoid has no
possible
W
angle
Oh,
here.
Faker's
Looks
gone
like
in. Humanoid in trouble. He's walking
Faker is
towards the
attacking
wrong
Humanoid,
way.
and he gets pushed
Flash
off, and he goes back in, gets
Humanoid
stunned by
on
Owner.
play.
Looks like Faker's not going to be able to
Faker's
secure the
still
kill yet.
chasing.
He flashes, and he gets the first blood, but
But he dies.
sadly
So
perishes
so
in
Humanoid actually
the
dashes
mid lane
back
due
in
to
there
Tower.
on top of
It is a trade between Fnatic and T1. T1 having a more of a gold lead.
Nice remark there is the Sejuani diving in accidentally targeted his own teammate with his stun, a thing that clearly was not intentional and might have ruined the fight because of how low they were. They could have gotten the team fight without needing to trade. Ooh, a fight in the jungle.
Yeah, it looks like T1 owner and Razor are just going to be fighting over Scuttle Crab. Razor getting the Scuttle Crab. Scuttle wins games, and Razor's flashing to be able to secure the kill on owner. But it appears that Gumayusumi is going to roam up and save owner's life. And there's just going to be a deep chase into the jungle. And the flash from Gumayusumi. Ah, fuck!
Razork had
Fucking
no
Gumby.
push, but he's playing with no fear as well. Manages to get the heal out of Gumayushi, trades his flash for it, but then he gets Gumayushi's flash on the back end of it. Owner's red buff is still up, and Razork's going to start it up.
Bot lane still having their flashes up, and Keria and Gumayusumi are had the trade. There, Gumayusumi's flash.
Because Hylissang spots him on that ward over the Krugs. And
it appears that they're just going to steal red buff from owner.
Look for a base afterwards. Oh, maybe a dive. Hex flash on the Poppy, of
It looks
course.
like Razor is coming in for a possible Hex Flash on Faker. And there goes the Hex Flash, and Faker's going to be stunned in the tower, not being able to catch up and perish to Humanoid.
Oh, we definitely are. Now look at the mini-map as well. The amount of wards that are littered in that bot side jungle from Fnatic, as well as the play mid, just allows them to be able to push owner out of his jungle, push Gumayushi and Keria back, Hex Flash over these walls, stun Faker into the tower. And now Humanoid's Akali sitting at 2 kills.
It appears that Fnatic was able to secure both scuttles and get vision on both sides of the river, as well as the vision on top into the bottom lane, or in the bot jungle. You know, having all of that vision and securing the dragon so that T1 cannot, setting owner back probably a decent amount of gold. You know, what's your opinion, Sam?
I wasn't paying attention. I was fixing my medical device. Unfortunate timing on this thing breaking.
Fair enough. You fix your medical pump. I'll try to carry this by myself.
Yes.
Faker is trying to get vision on drag, but apparently he's going to be chased by 3 people, and he's not going to be able to secure any vision on drag. It appears that Gumayusumi is going to just sit around in bot lane and farm, while Hylissang just roams down to provide more pressure. And Humanoid Wonder is the first one on the Fnatic side to hit level 6.
But Fnatic's bringing down more men too. Razork shows up. Nice steadfast presence to stop Faker from getting there.
Faker tries to go in, but he gets stopped by Poppy's W. Steadfast. And instead of him being launched towards him, he gets stunned. And it was a possible pick under the considering Nami Lucian, but now
Kali unfortunately having no pushing power, so they can't punish the Silas roam.
Upset and Hilly will be able to clear these out. You can see how violent this game is getting around this bottom half of the map again.
But, Faker being 2 levels down does not want to go in on this Akali. He really does not want to provide any trading. And, considering that the Humanoid has built anti-healing for him, means that Faker will have less of a presence in lane due to his negated healing. Although anti-healing items were nerfed this patch, it does not include the component for it, meaning that it'll provide a bigger use being just a component and not a full item.
Looks like there's going to be a fight in the jungle here with the Poppy invading and Sejuani on their way. Oh?
I don't think owner is looking that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sejuani looks like they're going directly mid.
Oh, no, but it looks like they're going to start roaming up. And he's going to be looking for their blue buff, or possibly even the Scuttle Crab now. And they're going to conflict in top river. And owner is going to be able to get the smite on the Scuttle Crab, providing top river vision.
Razork now hovering around mid. Maybe he's just trying to look to slow Faker down, hold the wave a bit so that Humanoid can catch it before it lands on the tower. We'll see if Humanoid
Razork is just going to throw a snowflake at him and then just back off. Just to give him some of that pressure, just say, I'm around, do not push forward. Faker realizing that the jungler is there now is possibly not going to be looking to push up. But since the Akali has no pushing power and Faker's just pushing up the lane, he'd be able to just continue to roam and, you know, possibly do anything.
Go most of the bullets. Gumayusi recognizing he needed to take cover immediately. And they'll get this wave pushed up even further back in mid. It's still Humanoid with a massive farm lead and more minions to pick up.
An unfortunate trade bot lane. Let's see how this Herald goes. Poppy.
I mean, 3 are in Herald right now. You know, Poppy would, would require assistance, but I don't think even the Akali would be able to help. And it looks like they're just going to channel, and Faker's going to be sent back. The best player in all of League of Legends is going to be sent back, and the smite's going to go out. Herald being grabbed by Owner. And he's possibly looking to perish here, and the flash comes out from Owner, but Poppy also flashes and secures the kill on Owner. But they still have Herald, which gives them infinitely more pressure in lane whenever it gets put down. It appears the tower plate is going to go down in the bot lane. And Faker's just going to hold out here in mid lane. Everyone just coming after him.
Bot side jungle is up. They're looking for camps down here, plates as much as possible. They're actually not even looking for the dragon just yet. So Fnatic come out ahead with a kill, but Owner still gets the Herald.
Hey, that Herald on average.
Let's see, shoving.
Fnatic just got 2 plates. That evens out, and they're feeling good about.
Let's see how this goes. They're rotating down to do Dragon. Might not be the best play, as it would just be a 4v4. Not sure the lead
this drag
they
has been
have.
Up, and I don't think would this drag be any use to anyone on either team during this stage?
Not particularly. But now is a good chance to go into it.
And, you know, coming out from the instant replay, Faker being sent back while the Herald fight's coming out. Maokai are coming out, and it looks like that the Scuttle Crab's just going to turn green, spooky for some reason. And, you know, Owner getting the smite still, but he still perishes with his life. That's still an objective grab by T1. And it looks like Fnatic's just going to grab the drag.
It will be taking drag. Free.
And next drag is going to be Hextech, providing a gated way. And it looks like they're going to pick up a kill on Hylissang here for a second. And Gumaisumi gets the first kill in bot lane.
Sivir being a particularly strong pick right now due to her high push rate. She can rotate to his sister team rather easily.
And I mean, considering this is a Nami Lucian bot lane, you know, you think that it would be the other way around, but no. Apparently, T1 knows how to play around it and is able to combat against this, especially with the Sivir picks right now. And it looks like Herald's going to be dropped in bot lane. And it looks like that they're going to get more turret plates. And no, the Herald's going to be sent back all the way further back by Poppy. Didn't even know that was a possible interaction.
That was one of the main utility that Poppy provides, is stopping the Heralds and, well, mainly just Herald, because Herald's the only one that you'd ever want to knock back.
But I mean, still,
particularly good in pro play.
But I mean, still, particularly with the pushing power of Sivir, it was still able to crash. So, has the Poppy R been wasted and just stalled
I would
time?
say so. They weren't able to defend against it. That was probably pretty wasteful. Yet again, the mid lane is still a CS diff. The Silas being unable to take any fights, while bot lane continues to trade aggressively in hopes of getting something out of it.
You know, Lucian just pulling
Sivir
up
probably gonna back
right
with the
there.
mana difference.
Yeah, I mean, Upset usually just used R. I mean,
looking to trade.
Nami
And there it
comes
is.
out
The Nami. I don't know. The Nami was just stopping the back. So long as it stopped the bot lane from being able to return to base here, if Lucian and Nami were to go for a fight, they would win that fight. Neglecting if their jungler were to come in like he did just then.
But I mean, this is the second kill in bot lane due to Sivir Yuumi. Just Yuumi R is way too powerful against Nami. I mean, Hylissang has been caught out twice by it, and they've just picked him off. I mean, like, if more ample time was given and more, focus was towards, it's not even a matter of Lucian at this point. It's a matter of just getting Nami, because Nami can't get away from Yuumi R.
What a strange teleport from the Maokai. I guess they hadn't seen the Yone for quite a while, but I'm still not sure that was the way to go there. Maokai is particularly popular right now due to his insane healing. You can't really push him out of lane, so he negates pressure from top lane by simply, if he unless you can burst him down, he's particularly good, especially in ranked play or high-end League of Legends. He has combos that are not difficult to pull off and provide CC and force the enemy to misposition.
I mean, like with last game with Fnatic, I believe it was Wonder who teleported in behind C9 and was trying to basically stall them, but he failed, due to 3 of them being there. There was an Ornn, Trundle, and a what was it?
A lane swap has begun. Bot lane going top lane to get the boosted XP, something that should happen in most enhanced forms of League of Legends. But it looks like they're grouping. I'm not sure for what, as they can see that they are farming.
I mean, like,
the mid lane menace is difficult to deal with. The Yone continues to try and go for heavy trades. Oh, and stealing the Gromp.
To where he began. This Yone in isolation, you've been talking about the advantages.
Silas trying to farm his way back into the game by heading top lane. So the bot lane is going to go mid. I'm not sure if that's the right play. I'm afraid of what the Akali is going to end up doing. It looks like there's going to be a fight in the jungle.
I mean, there's a Yuumi on Sivir, so wouldn't, Akali's attempt at ending someone's life just be negated?
Not particularly. She gains a good burst of movement speed whenever she's in her shroud, and will generally be able to fight back. Now it looks like the Yone may die.
Oh, it appears he escapes with R.
Having to use ult. The flash is still up on the Maokai. If they can flash... Oh, and they just trade flashes. That's probably worth it for the Maokai. And this is the particular strength of Maokai, is they can just relax under tower, and you can't do anything about it.
I mean, he's just gonna back and get a shield bow now.
Yeah, it looks like Maokai's not pushing due to the TP bot lane. Afraid of the jungler, I suppose, or the incoming TP. Backing himself. No TP up on the Maokai. Oh, and he canceled.
I mean, now it looks like the T1 is going to be getting X-Tech Drake that just came up a few seconds ago. And not even that, they're possibly looking at just getting the first T1 tower for the second one. Now it's the first,
excellent,
first tower.
If not inevitable play, unless the Maokai wanted to soak a lot of damage. Now the question here is, will they be able to force the drag?
I mean, it looks like they might be able to. I mean, there's only Zeus in the bot lane. It appears a TP is going to come out from Faker, possibly helping to fight against it. And it looks like they're just going to be pushed off of drag, considering that the only person with anti-healing on Fnatic's side is Akali, and Akali is not there. So Faker would still be able to do a bunch of healing and not be stopped.
Ooh, and it looks like there's going to be a fight. Let's see what happens.
I don't think there's going to be a fight here. I mean, it's just going to be a straight-up sweep and clear. I mean, they can't really do anything. If Owner can just land the smite properly. Oh, and it looks like Razork's just going to go in with the R and be stopped.
Seen so far, Owner has the superior smite reflexes, but a fight does in fact happen with the Maokai ult dropping.
Faker is sadly taken out of the match. They're the best player on T1. It looks like the team fighting potential with Yone is inevitable. Zeus is still in there. He's still fighting, but gets shut down by Poppy and Everly. And Keria gets the kill on Wonder.
Poppy having great utility against Yone and against Sejuani due to both characters having a dash.
And it appears that the upset just uses Cleanse with the Sejuani R, being able to stop, and the flash comes out from Hylissang. Summoner spells are down for bot lane. And I think Razork used Hex Flash to try to help in that situation, but he just wasn't able to catch up in time due to the channeling of it. And possibly a mid lane tower is going to be damaged severely, but not entirely.
Not taken for sure.
I mean, like, T1's still having a 1,000 gold lead.
The stun and the mist ult really did hamper their ability to come back, but that Maokai ult was clutch in holding down the Sylas. Sylas would have been of great utility in this fight.
But I mean, still, you know, Yone being an absolute monster on the Rift, you know, if he just builds Immortal Shield Bow, all he has to do is E and RU, and then his AD damage is multiplied sporadically enough to do a world ender on a Fnatic side, and it was shown by Yone getting 2 kills.
Looks like another fight's going to happen at Herald. Herald being particularly strong in pro play. Poppy able to do some real cheese if they are able to take the Herald, where they are able to knock back using her ult. Oh, and they have spotted the Herald take, and their team's heading over using the Maokai ult, the new improved.
And it appears Sylas is going to be sent back again by Poppy. It appears that Poppy really does not want Faker in the fight at all, because they probably realize that he is
needs the fight to come back. So every fight they can take that Faker does not get to take part in is a good one for them. And it looks like they were able to successfully take the Herald.
I mean, like, in all seriousness, Faker at this point is, he's low on CS, he doesn't have many kills. Akali has anti-healing, and it's able to be enough to stop.
Sylas. That's all you need to say, though. He's Sylas. Sylas, if he can hit 2 people, is able to win a fight. He has insane healing, even through executioners. And look at that, the Poppy, or the Yuumi ult getting knocked away. Now, the Akali heading in here was a bit odd, considering they knew their team was in the deep there.
Humanoid just got greedy there. I mean, he probably felt the confidence, you know, considering he's nearly up 50 CS and has anti-healing for Sylas, but I don't think he was expecting the Sejuani to be there. And
not at all.
Wonder is just, he's just going to be chased down by Gumayusumi.
Oh, and they take out the mid tower, and look, Sejuani's going in, trying to take out.
Yone are coming out, being stopped.
Not barely. Oh, they just got the Na'Vi.
And it looks like Faker just got a kill. He got a second kill of the match. And he's up a bit more gold, which means that he's going to be able to team fight for longer. And he gets a double kill. You know, after all those times of being knocked around by Poppy, it was time for him to finally secure something for himself. And I mean, now that mid lane has lost both their T1 turrets, now you know, pressure is on in mid lane for T1, since Rift Herald has crashed twice for them.
This is an interesting Baron angle, considering if they collapse on them, they are doomed. It looks like the team is unaware of any possible threat that may arise from this.
You know, just as T1 and Fnatic are going in, I'm starting to notice that Fnatic does not like Faker and T1 does not like Hylissang. That's the 3rd time I've seen Hylissang go down despite being picked out.
Both of them are playing hyper carry, mid lanes. Any kill that they can get gets them closer to their unstoppable godhood status. Both players being the best of the best, so preventing the best of the best from being able to come back is probably a worthy idea.
And it appears that Wonder is just under tower. And Zeus is just targeting Humanoid. Goes down to the E. Or not even to the E, just died on his own free will. And it appears that everyone's going after Zeus here. But I don't think Zeus is going to be able to live to tell the tale. And apparently Fnatic just surrounded him and he didn't go down without a fight and took out Humanoid. Now it looks like that they're going to be focusing more on bot side, considering it's the opposite of the map, having more time to, or more breathing room just to be able to take down T2 turrets. And it appears that Faker's also going to be pushing out mid lane.
Looks like they're going to shift their attention to mid lane, and the red team is knowingly moving over to prevent this.
That Yuumi did a lot of damage to Hylissang, and T2 tower for mid and bot lane go down, or Fnatic, which gives them more pressure, considering that they've rarely taken any towers. Bot lane and top lane still has their T1 towers.
The Poppy continuously asserting pressure against Faker. Faker not being able to reclaim his mana, but ultimately it's a moot point due to the dragon, or due to the Baron, giving them a fast back.
Now that we're coming back on the instant replay with the T1 Zeus, it appears that all Zeus really wanted to do was get Humanoid out, and that's what he did. You know, living was the secondary objective, but taking out Humanoid was the primary objective. You know, he's trying to live as best he can. His Immortal Shield Bow popped and giving him bonus AD, but it was just too much considering Wonder's healing, or just Maokai's healing in general being, you know, unstoppable with his recent adjustments.
And ward lines, I think, tell so much of a story in a game of League of Legends. And you can see right now, there's really not a whole lot of wards outside of the Fnatic jungle. They are in pure defense mode. A single control ward placed down.
If Fnatic is able to rotate up, this may be a legitimate fight they can take. Otherwise, the Sivir's strength with her current gold lead may allow them to take the tower. A stolen Poppy ult coming in and knocking away the Poppy.
And Hylissang goes down.
Sour.
It's always Hylissang. It's always going down, and now Faker is going to escape with his life, rooting the Maokai and being able to secure another kill, and T2 for top lane goes down. T1 is all on their towers and taking them all, and now it looks like that inhibitor turret is going to go down now, finally.
TP coming down bot lane as Akali is trying to push, hard shove the tower. It looks like T1 is going to try and push for game. Probably not for game here, probably just going to get the two inhibs, although it is quite possible, given that they have a minor lead over Fnatic, actually pretty heavy lead.
They have a 10,000 gold lead. Yeah, and 2 drags. I mean, I don't know how useful both drags are for T1, but by golly, they've been outplaying Fnatic with these objectives.
The movement speed gives them a rotational bonus, which particularly at high levels is quite valuable.
Oh, they've just demolished it, really, haven't they? And they didn't lose anything.
Now it looks like that they're
See
going to
what
be
happens
going
next. Yeah, just taking the inhib, they're going to reset, buy their items, and probably make a final push.
Yeah, considering they have a 10,000 gold lead, going to be able to stop it.
This could have been particularly bad, considering they knocked them away, but then Faker lands the stun, double stun, get a kill, but then, due to the Sivir being forced to retreat, they had a brief window in which they could have killed Sylas before they could defend themselves. Lucky for T1, that didn't end up playing out.
Coming back into it, 5-3-1 here on the Sylas. He's got his Everfrost, he's got his Zhonya's, he's ready for playmaking.
It looks like that Drag and Baron are neck and neck in timers coming up, and it looks like that they're going to try to secure. I think a flash just came out from Owner to stop the Poppy Yard from knocking him back, and now Owner's just straight up on the offensive, and just fighting everyone now because they're unstoppable and pretty tanky.
That's as good as game. We'll see if they try to defend it. Upset really low on mana, has to base. Wonder might be caught here by Faker.
Faker's just going in.
Faker playing a 1v9 type champion. It is very difficult to start a Sylas once they get their ball rolling, and there we get to see the amazing push power of Sivir, completely clearing out the wave. Now they have to back off a little bit here.
So they want this third
inhibitor. Get the
inhibitor
tower and inhib. Third inhibitor is a death sentence for FNC. It looks like this game is almost certainly going to be in T1's favor, unless they somehow fumble particularly badly.
It's do or die for Fnatic right
Let's
now.
see how this goes. Yet again, another terrible ult out of the Lucian. Lucian missing almost every ult this game. The first ult was barely salvageable whenever he was able to clear the wave. I am amazed that this is a pro player.
I'm amazed that he has not strapped a heartbeat sensor on his Glock. Apparently all those shots just miss everyone in the room. And it looks like a Baron angle is coming out from T1. Considering now that Fnatic is on the rope with all 3 of their inhibitors down, the closest inhibitor coming up is top inhibitor. That's another 2 minutes away.
Looks like they're going to finish off any remaining items and make the final push. If FNC wants to try and make a comeback, here they should try and take down Faker. They should be able to see the effects through the wall here, but it looks like they're not taking the bait.
It looks like they're just going to be holding out in base and, you know, basically stopping all the super minions that come in. Now that all 3 are down, there's a total of 6 super minions on the board. And, you know, with Baron buff now, the super minions are more tankier and do a lot more damage, making it a lot more impossible
10 super
for them.
minions were present. Because 4 remain. Now entering their base, 6 more on the way. Oh, another one ulted, booted back to the base. The Poppy has temporarily been removed. Probably a premature assault there.
And Humanoid escapes with his life, using Flash to get out of all the damage, and is sitting in Fountain healing while everyone is trying to hold him off the turrets. But I don't think it's going to be possible, considering that there is 2 super minions in their base, just punching everything they can.
And this game is going to be wrapped up in favor of T1, an excellent game, showing precisely why leads are not everything.
Now, what exactly is the number of wins that T1 has over Fnatic, considering they were in a rivalry now?
I am uncertain, as I am not a particular T1 fan.
Well, anyways, that's going to be a wrap-up of our show. Thank you so much for coming out. I am your host, Jamal Bell, and my co-host, Sam, here. And I will see you all in the next one.